There are far more Americans from every background and belief who reject the extreme MAGA ideology than those that accept it. It is within our power, it's in our hands, yours and mine, to stop the assault on American democracy. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel today. Unfortunately, today I have a sad story to talk about, but I really feel like I needed to talk about it because this is just getting out of hand, and somebody needs to speak up and put an end to this. Before we get started with today's video, you guys know the drill. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really, really helps the algorithm. It helps my videos get seen. It helps support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. So yesterday I learned of a really, really senseless murder that took place in North Dakota. And it was involving a young man who was only 18 years old, and he was struck by a 41-year-old man with his vehicle. Apparently, well, not apparently, this has been admitted to in the affidavit that the gentleman gave when they arrested him. But he admitted to striking and ultimately killing this young man because of his political beliefs. So I'm going to read the article and, give a brief statement about this. And I'm also going to share his GoFundMe account. His family has started a GoFundMe account. I believe they have far exceeded the goal that they're trying to reach, but I really would like people to support if they can. So I will put the link to the GoFundMe in the description box of this video if you wish to give, if it's in your heart to give. So early Sunday morning, 41-year-old Shannon Brandt allegedly ran over an 18-year-old Kayler Ellingson. Now, this article says allegedly, and I get why they have to do that, but I did read the affidavit, and he did admit to doing this. So not sure why they have to say allegedly. But anyways, so he ran over 18-year-old Kayler with his car following a political dispute in McHenry, North Dakota. After being charged on Monday with vehicular homicide and leaving the scene of a deadly accident, Brandt admitted that his actions were politically motivated. So a lot of people were like, well, how do you know? How do you know that this was politically motivated? He did admit to it. According to Inforum, Ellingson had been participating in a street dance Saturday night, and when it wrapped up, he noticed that Brandt was following him. Ellingson called his mother to ask for help, but it was too late. Moments later, Brandt slammed into him with his car in an alleyway, killing the teen. Brandt later called police himself to report the incident. He claimed that Ellingson had been part of a Republican extremist group. Does that sound familiar to you? Heard in a recent speech that was recently delivered by our commander-in-chief, and has ordered others to come after him following a political argument. So apparently what he's claiming is that these two, Kayler and the gentleman that ran him over, he's claiming that they got into a political argument, and this gentleman felt like this 18-year-old boy was going to have people come after him. So he took it upon himself to hit him with his car and kill him. According to police, Brandt was drunk at the time. He did admit to that in the affidavit. However, aside from that, very little is known about what transpired. We do not know of any witnesses, North Dakota Highway Patrol Captain Brian Nguyen said. We are still making attempts to interview potential witnesses from the street dance, people that were present prior to the crash happening. Brandt, who Ellingson's mother knew, was ordered to be held on $50,000 bail. However, he declined, citing his job, family, and house as the reason why he should not be considered a flight risk. So there is a video of him in his interview with the police, and he seemed quite confused as to why he was even being charged. So, I think that really lends to the fact that this individual is extremely disturbed and delusional, because he doesn't understand what he really did wrong here. However, he was released, and, is awaiting his arraignment. As it stands, Brandt could face a minimum of 10 years in prison, which I don't think is enough because he struck and killed a young boy intentionally with his vehicle, with a maximum of 20. However, if more serious charges are laid against him, his sentence could be much longer. Following the incident, a GoFundMe was set up by a family friend of the Ellingsons to help pay for funeral expenses. At the time of this article that I'm reading to you, it was at $4,000, and now it looks like it has reached $21,185. They had an original goal of $10,000. I did post this on my Instagram page yesterday with a link there, but again, I will provide the link in the description box below. So, overall, this is just extremely, extremely sad. And I'll tell you one thing. They have been perpetuating this narrative that MAGA Republicans are the ones to be feared, that MAGA Republicans are the dangerous ones, right? And I'm not saying that everybody who is a Republican or everybody that's a conservative or everybody that's even a Trump supporter is a good person. I don't think one equals the other, okay? However, as the leader of the free world, to stand up on a national stage where people are watching you, looking quite ominous, and deliver a speech where you demonize a particular group of people the way he has, that should be taken very, very seriously. He has literally incited violence on a group of people. He has made statements like they should be stopped. They must be stopped. They're coming after us. So, he has to understand that by the very nature of him saying these words, okay, to people, some people are rational, right? They take it with a grain of salt. They come to their own conclusions, right? But there's other people, just like there are on our side, that are very, very extreme and delusional and will take that as, he's telling me to go do my part. Go do my part for democracy. And this is not how you get it done, okay? I also want to point out that this isn't the first time that this has happened. You can Google politically motivated crimes or murders, and you will find a lot of stories. What you will be hard-pressed to find are those types of action being taken by anybody other than somebody attacking a Trump supporter or a conservative or Republican. Again, I want to stress, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you're going to find more on that side than you are on the right side. It's just what it is from what I've looked at on my research. One story that sticks out to me in particular is the story that really kind of popped off my channel, which was a story that I covered on a gentleman called Bernell Trammell, who lived in Milwaukee. And he was a black man who was killed in front of his business. He was sitting in a chair on his day of rest in front of his business, which was also where he lived. He lived above his store. And he was killed in broad daylight, shot on the sidewalk, basically. And the media labeled him as a Trump supporter. However, that's, that wasn't the entirety of who he was as an individual. Now, granted, this happened around the same time as George Floyd. So, just keep in mind the temperament of the nation at that point, right? But this particular man, in the months leading up to his death, had been seen holding signs that said, vote for Donald Trump, and speaking out against things that, were not quite right in the world. And he was just that type of guy. You know, he said he spoke his mind, and he was about trying to do the right thing and bringing love and peace into the world the way he knew how to do. But unfortunately, his killer has never been caught. The real reason as to why he was murdered will probably never be known. All they have is a very obscure video of a gentleman completely covered in head to toe, leaving in the alleyway of his business moments after the murder. So, you know, that's just another sad situation. But there are many other situations that I could list for you of this nature. But I think right now it's gotten to a point where it is getting really, really out of control. And the dangerous and destructive rhetoric that is being pushed onto the American people through social media, on news media, needs to be looked at and needs to be taken seriously, because this is not okay. It's not okay for anybody to do it on either side of the aisle. But I feel a great amount of anxiety around this, because I don't think that this is going to be the end of it. You know, in my personal opinion, a certain someone at some point has to be responsible for the blood on their hands. And I know that a lot of people on the other side want to always reference back to a date in January, you know, that is well known. I'm not going to say it, but that they claim that MAGA Republicans, you know, caused a great deal of violence and, you know, were responsible for a great number of deaths. However, that wasn't the truth. And if you look at the people that actually perished in that incident, with the exception of Ashley Babin, who was shot by a Capitol police officer, the other deaths were found to not be related at all to anything that was happening there that day. They just happened to be deaths related to just health issues in general. So I know that that's everybody's fallback argument, but it just simply isn't fact. So at any rate, I wanted to share this story with you guys to simply hopefully get out the message that this has happened, and that I hope people, if it's in your heart and if it's, you know, within your capabilities, to please support this family, to please share this story if you see it here, whether you're sharing my video, whether you're sharing it with people on social media. It's important that we get this out, that this is not okay. We need to stop this, because I don't want to see anybody get killed over political beliefs. We have to be able to disagree and see things, you know, on the opposite side of the aisle and walk away from that, and that be it. It doesn't have to lead to death and destruction and violence. So that's all I have for today's video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have anything to add to this story as far as any more developments that come out. I'll be kind of keeping an eye on the news feeds and updating you guys as we go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye-bye.